All right, we are on live. We're gonna get
Cool.
started in just a minute, everybody. All right, looks like we are hitting on the hour.
All righty. Well, hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to our very first Kingdom Connect Hangout. We're so excited to be here and that you're joining us today. I'm Antonina Gear, and this is my sis and business partner, Shae Bynes, and we're the co-founders of Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur. We're going to have so much fun today. We're going to share some great information with you on what's to come in Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur and how you can best maximize your experience with the Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur community, and also some fun stuff. We're going to be giving away some prizes. Actually, you're going to have a choice to win a choice between winning 3 books, but there is something you're going to have to do in order to be considered to win. So we want you to, on the page, be sure to share our Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur page, share how you're enjoying the Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur Kingdom Connect Hangout, and all of that good stuff. So again, welcome, and we're just so excited that you're here with us.
We sure are. All right, so I actually went away on video for a second before I came back, so I missed the intro. Did you already introduce who we are and what's going on with Kingdom?
Yeah, I said that I was Antonina Gear, you're my sis and business partner, Shae Bynes, and we're the co-founders of Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur. And we're just going to get a little bit into it. Shae's going to share a little bit about our story of how Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur came about, and all that good stuff. It's a God story. It's awesome. So we just want to share that in case this is some of your first time experiencing Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you so much just for joining us. This was an idea to do the Kingdom Connect. It was just something that kind of came to us a few weeks ago to do this just so that we can have some, some more interaction with all of you guys in a different way. So we're really excited about that. I always love to tell the story about how Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur came together because, most people meet us and come into the community and think that Antonina and I have known each other for years. We've just been buds and we just decided to do this thing together, which actually is not the truth at all. So I wanted to make sure that I shared that story with you because I think it helps to really kind of set the stage about what this community is about. And I think helps to really give some insight into why we do what we do and how we're moving forward. So here the story is in a nutshell, you guys. It was in March of last year when a friend of mine, I'm in the real estate investing business, and one of my friends who's also in the business had contacted me. He lives in Philly, and he contacted me and he said, Shae, there's this woman that I met that you absolutely need to meet. And I said, great, well, introduce us. And so he did. And when I had the conversation with her, it was a great conversation. And at the end of it, she said, Shae, you absolutely have to meet one of my clients, Antonina Gear. And I said, great, well, connect us. So she did that on Facebook. This was March of last year, okay? So we didn't know each other existed prior to March of last year. And when she connected the two of us, we hopped on the phone, and it was like we'd known each other since like pacifiers. I don't think I used a pacifier, but you know what I'm saying. So we had known each other forever. And talked about a lot of things that you don't normally talk to with someone for the first time that you met them, the things that God really called you to do, some of those things which you hadn't been doing yet, and some of the things that we were doing. And we saw a lot of synergy in that. And so, we just kind of started off by saying, hey, why don't I do a training for the people in your coaching group? And how about I do an interview of you, Nina, for my podcast, for my website at chasingyourfreedom.com. So we did that, and it was great. But after we were done, it was like, that was interesting, but, there's something more to us meeting. And we didn't know what it was. And I suggested that we pray about it and come back in 2 weeks. And so we did that, and we came back on the call, and we just started talking about some ideas. None of the things were really kind of clicking. It was like, no, it's not that, it's not that. I said, okay, well, it's something. Okay, it's something. So let's pray and come back again in a week. And so we did that. We came back. And I believe, don't get me to lying, but I actually believe we did this 3 times. Mm-hmm. And by that third call, when we spoke, Nina says something about kingdom-driven entrepreneur. And when she said it, you guys, it was like the story with Elizabeth, where it was like I was not pregnant, but there was like a baby leaping inside. It was like my spirit was like, yes, that is it. That is why you two are coming together. So I said, absolutely. And in that time, in that one phone call, we actually outlined our book, our first book that we released, called The Kingdom-Driven Entrepreneur Doing Business God's Way. In fact, I have a copy so you can see it. That's the book. And we outlined that entire book in that phone call. And the only thing that we knew at that time was, this is a movement, and this is a book, and it's a community, and that's all we knew. Okay? And so that's where we started. And here, these 2 women who had never met each other, didn't know anything about each other, spent the next 2 months writing a book together. We'd never read each other's writing. Nina had never written a book before. I had only done 1 book before. And we exchanged our first chapters, and were blown away because they were written in the exact same spirit. It was as if the same person was writing these chapters. And so over the series, over just a series of weeks, God just really brought us, really binded us together as more than just friends. We're really sisters. A lot of people call us twins. But, but God has just been revealing so many things to us kind of step by step about what this kingdom-driven entrepreneur community is about. And so we above all else, what are we here for? We are to equip entrepreneurs of faith to build thriving businesses so they can serve their families and truly impact lives and advance the kingdom of God in the marketplace. And that's something that we're called to do. If you have a mandate of entrepreneurship on your life, that's something, if you believe in Jesus, that is something we are called to do, okay? So anyway, that's what we're about, and we know this is a movement. We started just in November of last year. We already have thousands of people involved. We are just so grateful for so many of you in the community. So we just thought it would be useful to understand and have some context about how we came together and how Kingdom-Driven Entrepreneur came together. And so we started off with the release of that book and starting our Facebook community. A couple months later, we released our second book, which is The Kingdom-Driven Entrepreneur's Guide to Goal Setting. And we've got, and when we talk a little bit further later on, there's some other stuff that's coming. So we just thank God for each and every one of you. We thank you so much for being a part of this community. We consider you all family, and we mean that, really, but from the bottom of our hearts. You guys, we pray for you all on a regular basis, those who make themselves known to us, as well as those who haven't even said hello or joined the group or anything yet. But please know we are covering you and your businesses in prayer on a regular basis, and are just so grateful for what God's doing with this community. So just wanted to share that, Nina. Why don't we talk a little bit about some of the things that we've got coming up. I'm awaiting in the mail a book, a book that my friend Nina finished, called The Kingdom-Driven Entrepreneur's Guide to Fearless Business Finance. And we're just waiting for that proof to come back. I'm just believing it's going to be awesome, and that we're going to be able to go ahead and release that later on this week, both Kindle and on paperback. So Nina, why don't you just share with everyone a little bit about that book, why you wrote it, and what they're going to get out of it.
I wrote that book, and it's funny because it's something that God had given me last year, actually, and I thought it would be like a workshop or a, something. And I remember you saying, sis, at the beginning of the year, sis, you got to write a book, right? On finance, right? And I'm just like, oh, yeah, okay. So this book is on business finance, but it's on a different, not different, it's on an approach, what we're learning in the book. It's called the more than enough approach. It's the approach that God had given me to finances, that we as entrepreneurs of faith should be operating our business from, or managing our business, managing the finances in our business. So we do talk about some tactical, practical things in there, but the meat of it is your purpose, managing finances from a purpose lens, and from creating overflow so that you can, you have more to be able to live out your purpose. Now, let me be clear. We're not saying in this book that you got to have money to bring about the purpose God has for you, okay? Right. But what it is sharing some steps and some things that you do, managing your money, the way we give our money. These are things that position your business for the overflow that we know we are here to have in our business. I mean, we are entrepreneurs of faith. We are children of God. We should be making a stamp on the world through the purposes that we have, through the things God wants us to do in ministry. And quite frankly, sometimes you need money to do that. And our businesses are platforms for us to do that. Right. But we have to honor God in the way we manage our finances. So that's it in a nutshell. I think it's going to be a blessing to you. Well, we know it will be, because it comes from Him. It's not our doing. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So really excited about that. So stay tuned for more information over these next few days about that upcoming release. I want to remind all of you guys, because some of you might have just joined, that we are going to be giving away a prize during our hangout here during Kingdom Connect. So the way that you actually can be entered to actually win the prize is by sharing right on the page where you're looking at this broadcast. There's a place where you can actually add comments on Facebook and just share what you think of what we're sharing. You could also just share our page. We just want you to really just help us get the word out about the Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur community. And by doing so, you will be entered. And by the end of our hangout, I'll be announcing the winner. And the winner is going to get their choice of either a Kindle or paperback version of any of our books. The two we've already released, as well as the one that's about to be released. So you actually get your choosing of any of those three, okay? So let's see, what else do we want to talk about? I want to talk about a couple more things on the book side. God has really called us to do a lot in terms of getting really easy, practical, easy to follow type of reference guides out to the community of Kingdom-driven entrepreneurs that are going to help them in their businesses. And one of those things, which is a little bit of a departure, honestly, from our standard type of book, is a devotional that we have coming up. So I'm actually in the process of writing right now. It's something that after we released our first book, which was the Kingdom-driven Entrepreneur Doing Business God's Way, God was really speaking to me about, okay, this is great, but really people have to cultivate a relationship with me. Like that's the most important thing. And if you're on our website and you paid attention to our blog at kingdomdrivenentrepreneur.com, you'll see that that's something that we've been talking about on the blog for the past couple of weeks, which is not creating an idol out of that purpose, even a God-given purpose, not to put that as an idol, but to focus instead on the person who gave it to you, the God who gave it to you, and making him the focus. And so that's really important. So we have a devotional coming up that's going to be released this summer. And here's something that a lot of you will, some of you will be very, very interested in, is that we're not writing all these books ourselves, okay? We actually have, Nina's like, yay, because I don't want to write all these books myself. We are actually going to be releasing this summer our first guide, Kingdom-Driven Entrepreneur's Guide, that is written by someone completely different from Antonina Gear and Shae Bynes. Our author is actually Casey Solik, who's actually our health coach. Yes. And the book is going to be about holistic health, which is such an important topic for entrepreneurs, for everybody. But certainly for entrepreneurs of faith, you've got to focus on our health and on our bodies where we can have the energy to do those things that God's called us to do. So anyway, if you are someone who has an expertise in an area that's of value to the entrepreneur of faith community, then we would love to hear from you, okay? If you send an email to info@kingdomdrivenentrepreneur.com, then just send us your name, send us your bio, some information about you, and let us know about your expertise. And it's something that we can consider moving forward, because we actually have, gosh, Nina, I think we've got like 3 other releases
Yeah,
with other
3.
authors coming. Mm-hmm.
Yep, 3. Yep.
Right. So there's like a total of 4 we're doing this year. There's going to be a lot more in 2014. So go ahead if this is something that you believe, you really want to, you either whether you've written a book or not. Even if you haven't ever written a book, it's okay. All right. If you have an expertise in an area that's of value to this community and you want to partner with us on a project, just send us an email at info at kingdomdrivenentrepreneur.com. So let's see, Nina, we've got a little more time here. We've got another like 20 minutes or so. Let's talk about, let's see. Hey, why don't we talk, Nina, about this this idea around equipping leaders in local communities?
Yes.
I know this is something that warms your heart as much as mine. So how about you share with us a little bit about this call that we had just recently with a member of our community, Alicia, and talk a little bit about that and how this book that we wrote, having no idea, what kind of impact it would have, and how God's really used her to take this book to really help to bring transformation to the lives of people in our local community.
Yeah, so we had, was it last week, we had a call with Alicia, and we just love her. She's another sister. Yes. And God had been dealing with her. She started to read our book, and God had been dealing with her about starting small groups and training up leaders in the local area based on our book. Now, mind you, this wasn't even something we had even thought of to do. It's just amazing how God works. So, but in these small groups, they're meeting monthly, is it?
Weekly.
Weekly. Okay, they're meeting weekly, and the transformation, the stories that are happening in these small groups, people, not just their businesses transforming or exploding, but people's lives, their relationship with Christ, their faith is being built up. Changes are going around in their local communities. It's amazing. So coming up, we're going to be actually equipping those of you who feel led or feel a tug from the Holy Spirit to really transform. And this is what kingdom building is about.
That's right.
Kingdom-driven entrepreneur is not just about us. What we're clear about is that this is a community, and it's got to represent kingdom. And the way to do that is each of us in our local communities are going to be able to bring about this transformation with sharing the Kingdom-driven entrepreneur message and what it's doing in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did a video with her. We're going to be releasing it pretty soon. That just tells some awesome testimonies of some of the things that have taken place just in her area there in Missouri. And it's great. So we're going to be providing you with tools. You've got to know, many of you are probably networking in your local communities already, and some kind of business networking group or something like that. But imagine the power, right, of facilitating, either being a part of or being the facilitator of a group of kingdom-driven entrepreneurs and the divine connections that happen as a result of that, right? It's really, really powerful. In many ways, it's great just for the ongoing encouragement. It's great for getting insight on tactical things even in your business, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people with various experiences within business. But it's just that the transformation, and so we just thank God just for having a tool that helps to facilitate those conversations. And so we're going to be doing everything that we can do to help you to do just that. So be on the lookout for that as well. We're excited about that. By the way, if you guys have questions, if any of you have questions, if you see me looking over to the side over here, it's because I'm refreshing the screen to pay attention to what's happening here on Facebook. And if you have questions about the Kingdom-driven entrepreneur community, we would love for you to ask them, and you can ask them. And if you don't want your question to show up on Facebook, it's okay. There's a little box right under where you write your comment that says post to Facebook. Just uncheck that box, and then we'll still see it, but it wouldn't necessarily show that question that you have to your entire news feed. Okay? So feel free to do that. If you have any questions, just go ahead and share those, and we'll kind of interject and answer some of those questions, okay?
Hey, sis, there is a question. I see a question. Someone asked, have you ladies thought about live meetings in a local place?
Yeah, we actually have. So this is going to be really interesting. I've got to tell you, I'm just kind of talking off the cuff here, okay? this community, which is growing at a pace that it's kind of messing us up a little bit. And it's global, so it's all over the place. I can't even tell you that there's like these concentrations of people in, Atlanta, Georgia, and a concentration. Listen, if you looked at our Facebook stats, if you were looking at what I'm looking at and seeing where our community is, it is all over the place. And we thank God for that. This is, that's something that God said to us in the beginning. This is not a black thing. This is not a white thing. This is not a female thing, a male thing, a United States thing. This is a multinational, multicultural, multi-gender. There's only two multi-gender thing. Okay? That's what he shared with us. And so for us to see people in our community from Uganda, from Kenya, from Canada, all over the place. So to answer your question, you have to be patient with me because sometimes I take a minute, okay? But to answer your question, yes, we have absolutely thought of ways to get people together in local places. But to be honest with you, this is why we're focusing on equipping leaders in local communities, because what we believe is going to happen is, because this thing is not about Antonina and Shae, okay? It's right. So not about us. It's not even funny. It's so not about us, okay? We're the co-founders of this thing. We thank God for the responsibility of this thing, but this is about the movement. This is about people's lives being changed. So what we foresee is that there's going to be people that are taking leadership in various cities that will be bringing groups of people together. That's what we see taking place. Now, as far as what we do, yes, we will be providing events where people from all over the place can come, and they will be events that Nina and I will be at, okay? So we're going to be doing those. You'll start to see more information about that really in the coming months, because we have something. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag.
You can't let it out.
We're not letting the cat out of the bag yet, okay? But
nope.
We do something. Nina's like, don't tell it. Don't say it yet. Don't say it yet. I could already see her doing it. Okay? I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet, but we do have something that we are in the background working on that's going to be in the spring of next year that we're really excited about, and we're believing there's going to be multiple opportunities to do that. Now, I will also say that Nina and I also have this workshop called Business by His Design, and we are more than willing to do that workshop. If you have an organization, if you want to get a group together, if it's your church or what have you, we do these workshops. And if we do these workshops in your local area, then what we could also do while we're there is also have kind of a meetup of sorts, right? To bring people together, okay? So those are some ways right now, June 2013, that we can be getting together in local areas. So I hope that answers your question adequately. Are there any other questions, Nina, that came through?
I am checking now. Let's see.
Sylvia says she loves Casey and her green shakes. Yes, green smoothie.
We do too.
Listen, I just had one. I love them. They changed my life. I'm telling you, I've lost over 30 pounds since September.
Sylvia said, let it out, let it out.
We're not letting it out. That's awesome. Let me see if there's any other questions that came through. Okay, good stuff. Hey, I want to actually share something else with you guys. We've talked about equipping. I have my little notes here, some things I really want to make sure we shared with you guys. We talked about the books being released. Again, please share on Facebook. You'll be entered into a giveaway that we're doing for our book by the end of this, and we'll be finishing up in about 10 to 15 minutes, okay? So go ahead and give us a shout out on Facebook. Share the community on Facebook, and we'll be entering you in for a drawing, okay? All right, Nina, here's what I think we should talk about next. You tell me what you think. And that is about getting plugged in to our Facebook. We have a private Facebook group. We have a community there, right there on Facebook. And tell people why, even if they don't even have a Facebook account, sis, even if they don't even have a Facebook account, why they should get a Facebook account just to be a part of this group. Why don't you tell a little bit about that, and then I'm going to read something that's going to bring that home.
I mean, man, where do I start? I mean, it just, I'm going to get teary-eyed. It just blows my mind what I see going on in a Facebook group. So first of all, if you don't have a Facebook account, you're going to want to get one, because you're going to want to join our Facebook group, because there's so many connections happening. There's encouragement, getting your questions answered. People are doing business together. People are finding out that they know each other from relatives, and it's crazy. I mean, when you say kingdom, and it's just all that. As you can see, I'm lost for words.
All right, that's cool. That's a great intro to what I'm going to read. And you know what we should also do, Nina, is before we go, is not everybody even knows about us and like who in the world, you know, we are or what we do in business. So we should make sure we do that, you know, I guess a proper introduction of us as individuals as well. So let's do that too. But before that, I want to read to you just a portion. I had to print this out, you guys, because I knew we were going to be on the Kingdom Connect, and I knew I was going to tell you why you need to be a part of this Facebook group, okay? I asked last week in the group, I said, you guys, we're redoing our website. We're launching our new blog, which, by the way, you can go to at kingdomdrivenentrepreneur.com. And I said, I just want to share just a few testimonies of what it's like to be a part of this community and what it's meant to you in your life and your business, okay? And boy, did I get an email. One of our members told us that she couldn't just write it there in the Facebook group because it would be taking up too much space. It would have been too much. And so she said she's going to have to email it, and she did. And this is the email that she sent me. This is the link of the email she sent me. And I just want to read some highlights from it, you guys, because it blessed me so much. I think it made Nina cry. Hey, it doesn't take much, but still, it was worthy of Nina's tears, okay? All right. This is what she says. Being a part of the Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur Group has transformed my life and everything in it. The infallible Word of God teaches us that there is safety in the multitude of wise counsel, and safe counsel can't be given without love. Not only has KDE been helpful to me regarding business insight and best practices, but the members of this group have prayed for me, they've encouraged me, and they have given me immeasurable amounts of support. Let me just fill you in on how God has moved in my life through Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur. Now, I'm not going to read all this in detail, but I'm just going to tell you the highlights. I could tell you that she got to even know the group in the first place because she was following my real estate blog at goodfaithinvesting.com. That's how she knew me and then knew about the community being developed. And then she worked with Nina as a coach in her finance, in the area of her finances for her business. And then she was struggling in her business because she didn't have enough administrative support, and she found that within the community. And this is what she says. She says that this woman has single-handedly saved her business by sending her 2 angels who are also part of our community to help her out in her business. We also have Tanisha. Yeah, we have Tanisha, who is a nonprofit coach in our community. This woman has a nonprofit, and so now she's working with her, another member of a community, to get her nonprofit off the ground, right? She's gotten tons of great insight on a proposal that she was submitting for her piano tutoring business. She has an accountability partner now who's from the community. She has a business coach who came from the community. You guys, look, listen. She says at the end, that's all I'm going to say for now. But I'm always in awe of God's faithfulness and power when I see the overwhelming testimonies and business ventures of my KDE family. Participating in this group is the best time investment I have ever made.
Awesome.
We're just done. We done now. No, it's like we can get up and go home now. But then that's what God has done here. It's not about Nina. It's not about Shae. But this is about what God's doing in the divine connections that He's bringing together. I don't know what chapter it is in the book, but my favorite chapter that I wrote in the book was about Holy Ghost hookups.
Yes.
And that is what's happening all over this community. So it's changing businesses, it's changing lives, it's changing families. It's just been amazing, and we are in awe on a regular basis over all the things that God's doing. So we encourage you, we admonish you to go check out, to join us on the Facebook community. If you just go to, it's actually at facebook.com/groups/Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur, but you can also get to it, search it on Facebook, all right? You'll be able to get to it there as well. If you're not involved, no excuses. If you're on Facebook, no excuses. Get a Facebook account and join us, and you will be so, so happy that you did. And it doesn't cost you anything. It costs
Not
this
at all.
much. It costs this much. 5 zeros. We got 2 more zeros behind it. So we wanted to share that with you as well. I want to remind you, we have a weekly newsletter that goes out called Kingdom Impact. We take articles from our blog. We share. We do featured members in our community, so you can get to know each other and know what each other are doing in business. Give some great tips in there. So announcing things that are coming up. So make sure that if you're not signed up for our newsletter, you can do that at kingdomdrivenentrepreneur.com. And sis, is there anything else we need to make sure that we share before we do a drawing and give away a prize?
I think we covered everything except for letting everyone know what we do in business individually.
All right. You see how easy I forgot? You see how easily I forgot? This is why I say things to you. So why don't you start us off, sis?
Sure. So I have a business, Simplistic Financials LLC, which is a small business finance consulting and virtual CFO services company. And I help women entrepreneurs who want to successfully or continue to successfully grow their business. I help them in managing their finances, not just managing them, but helping them to connect the finances with their purposes so they can continue to grow their businesses. So that's via coaching, one VIP days, consulting, that's what I do.
And she's brilliant at it. And this is why I told her she had to write the book and get all that in her head into the book so that people would be blessed by it, regardless of whether they were her clients or not. That's how you get the gifts that God is giving you. That's how you get it out to the masses. Write it down, right?
That's right.
That's good stuff, sis. And you want to share a little about your family too?
Sure. I am married to Larry Gear, and we have 4 kids. We also are in ministry. We have a fairly new ministry here in South Carolina. So I work alongside my husband in that at the Abundant Living Christian Church. So that's what we do, and we just love God. We love people. We just want to serve and be all that God has called us to be, and help others to do that as well.
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. And so I am also married. I'm married to my high school sweetie. We've been together almost 20 years, since we were 16 years old. His name is Phil. He's an amazing massage therapist and the love of my life. We have 2 girls, 2 daughters, Anissa and Nia. They are both kingdom-driven entrepreneurs in the making. My oldest daughter started her first business a couple years ago, helping people sell stuff on Craigslist and eBay. And my baby, my 5-year-old, she just turned 5. She'd been asking me since she was 5 whether she said, I want to sell lipsticks and dresses and shoes and things that make ladies feel beautiful. So after 2 years of asking me, I said, fine, you could start when you're 5. And so I hooked her up with my friend Lori, who's an amazing Mary Kay executive director in the business with all the cars and all the whole thing. Hooked her up with her, and now my baby is selling Mary Kay. What? Okay. So that's my family. Love them dearly. In business, I had the Good Faith Group, which is an information publishing and coaching company that's all centered around helping those who are, I call them freedom-chasing employees, right? So those who are working full-time jobs but want to make those jobs optional. So I have a blog at chasingyourfreedom.com. I have a podcast that's called the Quest for Passive Income Podcast, and everything that I do is all around helping people to eliminate debt, right? How to get your side hustle on, which is what I did because I worked in corporate America for just under 11 years. I worked at IBM, and so I've got plenty of side hustling business experience. So I share a lot about that and how to generate passive income streams and highly leverage income streams while you're working full time so that you can make that job an option rather than a necessity and focus your time on whatever it is that God's called you to do and not feeling like you're bound to that particular job, right? So that's what I do in business. But I will tell you that since we started Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur, a lot of my time, as directed by God, has been on Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur. And so that's where we are. And my husband and I also invest in real estate down here in the South Florida area. So we have that that's going on as well. All right. So that's pretty much the 2 of us in a nutshell. We want to do a last call for any questions that you may have about the Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur community. I'm going to refresh my screen here. Yeah, Don says this is a kingdom thing. That's right. That's right. That's right. You got it. Let's see what else we've got going on in here. See if there's any other questions. Am I missing any, sis? Are you on here too?
I'm looking now. Donna said to please write in the name of the author for the new book on health. I think we typed it in.
Talking about Casey? We can't hear you, Nina.
You can't hear me?
Oh, because you were typing it, and Google likes to say when you're typing that you must not want to be heard. So we didn't hear what you said.
Donna, the author that will be on the Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur Guide to Holistic Health is Casey Sollock, C-A-S-E-Y, Sollock, S-O-L-L-O-C-K. We're connected as friends with her on Facebook. You might see her in our friends list. She also has She Shines Health or Wellness.
Wellness. She Shines Wellness.
She Shines Wellness. On page as well on Facebook.
Yeah, she's just amazing. She's awesome. Love her.
Changed our life.
All right, Nina. Now I want you to give me a number between. Don't look at anything. Don't look at anything. I'm gonna just say to give me a number between 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Give me a number between 1 and 10.
6.
6. All right. The winner of a book of their choice is, can I get a like a drum roll or something?
Can you hear it?
Yeah. All right. The winner of the book of their choice, whether it be, you like how I'm going to draw it out, The Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur Doing Business God's Way, or The Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur's Guide to Goal Setting, or the book that hasn't come to my house yet that's called The Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur's Guide to Fearless Business Finance. And that winner is Dawn Clark. Woo! Go, Dawn. It's your birthday on June 24th. Yeah. All right. So congratulations. We thank you all just for joining us today. We don't want to hold you long because we've all got business to handle. So we're going to try to keep all of these when we do them no more than 45 minutes. Try to keep them as close to 30 minutes as possible. We just thank God for each and every one of you. Please get connected to the Facebook group. Get connected to the page for encouragement on a regular basis. Get connected to Kingdom Impact newsletter to get those tips on a weekly basis. Get these books and implement, put them into action, okay? And share with the community with your like-minded friends and everything and family, etc. So we thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you again next month on the 4th Monday of July. And in the meantime, we've got a lot of other awesome stuff coming. So just be connected so you know what's going on with what we're doing, all right? And whatever God's doing, because he's doing it way bigger than whatever Nina and I could even come up with, all right? He's amazing. All right, so thank you so much, Dawn. I already know how to get in contact with you, so I will do so, and we'll get whatever book you want out to you, all right? Take care, everybody. God bless you.
God bless. Bye.
Bye-bye.